Right, guys, so we'll be doing introduction to part design today. So sign in to your Onshape account and then go to the Learning Center. Okay, self-paced courses, learning pathway, CAD basics. Okay, so it's this one, introduction to CAD. And we did number 1. You should get a completed icon right there. Now we're gonna do part design. This is when we start drawing. Okay, so I've done part of it already. I'm at 56%. So what you have to do is watch the videos. Okay, it is important that you watch these videos. Okay, and then once you watch these 2 videos, you now go to the exercise sketch creation. And when you get to this, you still have this one, right? So you need to take out this tab, split up your screen like how I'm doing it. So I'm gonna hide this, and then I am going to fit this in so that you guys can watch me while I go through the instruction. Okay, so it says here sketching exercise, and we have the goals, and for the goals we're going to be practicing how to use lines, circles, arcs, rectangles, and construction geometry, and then applying constraints and dimensions to the sketch. Okay, so click here, and then it says here it has all the steps, but I'm going to do the video with you also so that you guys can be really successful in this one. Along the way, I might make some mistakes because this is my first time using Onshape as well. So it says create a new document and be sure that the workspace length unit is set to inches. So create a new document, and then let's just say exercise 1. Okay, and make sure that the workspace length unit is set to inches. So document menu, workspace units, and then see if it says inches. So it's an inch. So I click check, so I'm good. It says begin a sketch on the front plane. The cool thing about Onshape is if you leave your mouse there, it actually tells you what these are and what the steps are. See, it says here, select a plane, select a sketch tool line, create sketch curves, click the green check mark. So it tells you in details like what you have to do. So in our case, we're gonna click on sketch, and then we're gonna click on the plane that we want to draw from. Okay, so it says sketch plane, front plane, and if you right click, you could say view normal to the sketch plane, and then there you go. Okay, and then if you go right click again and you say, oh, it doesn't show right here, right click here, okay, here in the middle, you could say hide other planes so that all you see now is the front plane. Okay, so next says reorient camera. So we just did that. Another way of reorienting the camera is actually just clicking on front. Okay, so now it says here go to the next slide, and then it says here sketch a corner rectangle as shown, and be sure that the origin is located at the midpoint. Okay, so click on corner rectangle, and I'm just gonna line this up. Let me zoom in so you could see it. So I just lined it up like that, click, and then drag. And as you can see, it's not even at the center, right? So it says here that we need to make this point as the midpoint. Okay, so I right click, I click escape rectangle, and I click on the midpoint, and I click on the line. Okay, and then I go look for, so here are all the constraints. I look for the midpoint, I click on it, and notice what happened. Okay, so it put the line, it reduced the length of the line and made sure that this is the midpoint. Next, sketch a construction line that is vertical, starting at the origin towards the top of the sketch. So to the top of the sketch. Okay, so let's just do this. So I'm gonna get line, and I'm gonna just go draw and draw a straight line, and I'll just go up to this where you see this line right here. Okay, and then I could right click and press escape and click escape line, or I could just press escape on the keyboard. Okay, so escape line, and then I need to change this, so I have to click on it and then click here, change to construction. There you go. So it changed it to the construction line. All right, so next I got all of these done. If I move the mouse here, I could actually see all the constraints. Notice, okay, so there's a constraint right there. There's the equal constraint. Okay, there's that perpendicular constraint and all of those constraints. Okay, so go to number 3. Sketch a 3-point arc by clicking the 2 endpoints at the bottom. So here's a 3-point arc. So click here, click there, and then, oh, let me do that again. 3-point arc, click here, click there, and then down. Okay, so notice that there's that dot right here at the center. I mean, at the center line, construction line, and I'm just gonna go until that dot traveled towards the center of the arc. Okay, and then the arc should be tangent to the vertical side of the rectangle. So let's see. If I go here, and I go to tangent right here, and I leave my mouse there, it says there, select the sketch entities and select the tangent constraint tool. So I'm going to escape the arc. So select the entities that I want to be tangent with the arc. So I click on this two, and I click on the arc. All right, and then I go click here and then say tangent. Okay, and then if I move the mouse here, see that there's the third icon right there is the tangent. Okay, and I have the tangent here. I have the tangent here already. Okay, so next, sketch the shown lines above the rectangle as shown. Be sure the construction line ends at the midpoint of the horizontal line. So I have to do all of these now. Okay, so let's continue. So I'm going to right click and say zoom to fit so I could see my entire drawing right here. And then I am going to draw this next 3 lines. Okay, so line, click, 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 and click. As you notice, my drawing looks so much different from this, but it doesn't matter at this point. Okay, I need to make sure that this horizontal line right here is at the midpoint of that point right there. So I right click, escape the line. So I click on that point and I click here, and then I go click midpoint, and then that should make the distance between this point and to those 2 endpoints equal. Okay, I think I've drawn most of these already. So tangent, and then I have the midpoint. Just remember, to get the midpoint, you have to draw all the way to the end of your construction line right there where there's a point. Okay, so next, number 4, change to construction line. So I click on this 2, 1, 2. So let me zoom in, 1, 2, and then construction lines. So there you go. They're both construction lines now. And then sketch a circle as shown. I forgot about that. Sketch a circle as shown. So there you go. All right, number 5. These lines are equal. So sketch the 3 lines to make the keyhole. So this line I have to draw. So click on the line. So click, click, click. There you go. Escape the line. And then be sure that the 2 indicated lines are vertical and equal. So I click both lines. I selected both lines and I click on vertical. Okay, that's the first one. So I click on both lines again and make sure that they're equal. All right, so next, number 6. Now I have to add all these dimensions. Okay, so here is the dimensioning. So click here, center of the circle, and says 3.5. 3.5, okay. And then from here, this construction line to the center of the circle is 2.5. And then this horizontal line to the center of the circle is 1.25. Okay, and then look at what happened to my drawing. That doesn't really matter. And then this one to here is 0.75. Okay, there you go. Next, so right click, zoom to fit. And then next I have to put the radius of the arc. Okay, so I have now to dimension the radius of the arc. Okay, so as you notice, this is the arc right here. And this is going to fix my drawing. So this is 2. Here you go, it fixed my drawing already. And the diameter for the inner circle is also 2. So the diameter is 2, radius is 2, which means if this is a circle, the diameter is going to be 4. Okay, and next. Okay, using the dimension tool, add the angle. Okay, so the angle between this line and then this line right here. So for the angle, the technique is you click on, so click dimension, okay, make sure, click on this line, and then click on this line, and then drag it outside like this, and you'll get the angle dimension, and then you type 45. So again, you could just use equal to equal these two lines to set them at the same angle, but for practice, just click here, and then click here, and then drag it like that, and you get 45. Okay, type. And then let's see, accept the sketch. All the lines now are in black, okay, which means it's fully constrained. No blue, no orange lines. So click check. That's how you know that you got it right. And then at number 9, says here, click here, select that, and down here should be the area. So it says here, select the region, and then the measurement displays at the bottom right corner of the graphics. Okay, continue to the next page. So click here, check to see if your sketch is correct, begin the self-check, and then what is the area of the selected sketch region? Okay, and so I'm gonna choose this, see results, and that's correct. Okay, so what I need from you today is proof that you actually got the right area, but this is not what I want. What I want is actually your sketch, this sketch. Okay, so you go take a screenshot, and notice what I'm going to screenshot here. I want to see your name, and then all the way where it shows the area. Okay, so again, I need to see your name, and I need to see that area down here. And that's what you submit for this activity, Introduction to Part Design, Part 1.